that time will tell. Immortals are going to start on that CT side, so we can see if Fnatic can make life difficult for them with the mid-round calls and beyond.
Fnatic already showing that they're capable on train themselves, so we'll see what exactly they have in store for us here. They're starting on the T side. Immortals on the CT side. Kogu will take the hit, pick up the kit and the smoke for his team, so there will be some utility in play here for Immortals. Fnatic, it's all on Golden, their in-game leader, to set things up here for the rest of the four, to go charging in with the Kevlar. Bolts, just going to buy a little bit of time. The fake nade, the decoy that isn't going to distract anybody.
Looks like most people will be moving in from the lower area. The smoke will help things, so Bolt can pick anybody off. Steel just biding his time. Does he go for the first engagement? But he does. Only good for one, though. Traded by JW, and the trades continue. Bomb should be good to go down. All the CTs coming from the back.
And now it's a matter of pushing forward here for Immortals. Bolts has got that high grounds advantage. He's got Kogu to back him up, and so the two of them can move together as a pair, look for the duels. No, Bolts changing it up, and he spots out two players here for Fnatic. A lot of information gained. That's going to funnel Lekro right in, excuse me, to the waiting arms of Lucas. And Lucas will be the linchpin here.
Flusha going to burst fire, but not quite finding the angle onto Lucas, and it will be the pistol round going to Immortals. 3 players surviving. Fantastic stuff. Henny hasn't been damaged. We can get a helmet upgrade for $350. That's extra money for him. Extra money is always good, especially when you're starting out on the CT side.
Especially when you want to be building up for that AWP. Nice play from him to pick up Kogu's kit as well. Kogu making sure that he went down in an area where his teammates would be able to recover that. Nothing lost. 4 UMPs getting bought now for Immortals. They know that Fnatic are not going to be spending anything this round. It would, you know, we've seen it in the past, but Fnatic right now, they're going to be focusing on that 3rd round buy after getting the bomb plant and the pistol. So Immortals just looking to farm up that money.
Crim's picking up the P250. It's going to have a lot of changes soon for these players, but just a reminder, they are playing on the version before the recent patch.
As you go, we don't remind them enough of that. Actually, we need to be mentioning that just a little bit because that is a pretty significant change to the UMP. Or no.
Ooh. Well, yeah, the P250 as well. I'm very curious how that will play out. Grenade sailing in, but not quite getting the damage done. Henny will make it a risky gamble to push through that smoke. Fnatic's looking to do any damage they can. Again, if Crims gets a kill, that P250 pays for itself. 300 for 300. Lekro moving the bomb towards towards Ivy on his own. Just having a look, trying to find out what's going on. It might be that he wants to take a risk and try to show the bomb here and then rotate it elsewhere. But with no one down for Immortals, they don't really need to move out of position.
This is a tough thing for Fnatic right now. They aren't going to have enough depth on their T side just yet with Golden, new leader, roster change, etc. to really have many options. And so if their defaults are getting picked off, if they're losing duels straight up, this isn't going to really be building their confidence. They don't really have anything quite yet to fall back on that will be a guaranteed bomb plant or a guaranteed win. So it's all going to come down to just how powerful these guys are. Kogu will find the kill, which is excellent for him. Bonus $600 in his pocket with that UMP frag. But this is the big round here, James. Like, Fnatic need to have an impact here to get rolling and get some confidence. Otherwise, it might be looking a little grim for them.
AKs on the 3rd round means that Fnatic are going to be somewhat lacking in utility. They've got enough smoke stove for a smoke execute, but in a round like this, you may see a fast play from a T side trying to get into the A train yard, for example. So we'll see what Fnatic have in mind for us as they spread out and take their initial map control. 4 players going towards A for the CT side, fairly standard stuff, and it seems that Fnatic may have a focus towards B. They'll be jumping down the ladder. That's a very fast entry onto Kogu, and we saw that in previous matches of Train today where there were mixed results for the T side. So far, so good for Fnatic.
Oh, nice wall bangs there from Flusha, doing as much damage to Bolts as possible. Bolts now has to give ground, and he is alone. Flusha, it looks like Fnatic don't want to pass up on this opportunity. They know that they've severely wounded the anchor player here for B, and they want to take advantage of that, pressing out as 5, as a unit. Excellent stuff here from Fnatic. I'm loving it so far, just moving together as a team and taking advantage of opportunity.
Yeah, this is somewhat suicidal for Immortals now. Last 2 players, Steel and Lucas, continuing to push in a 2 versus 5. Maybe their priority is to buy together as a team, but at some point, surely it becomes too much to ask. Lekro taken down, and Steel will get an upgrade to an AK, but he may be soon dispatched of. JW, here's the reload, but doesn't run after it. He knows there are 2 players remaining, and perhaps he heard Lucas as well. Crim's now spotting him. And it's a question of damage for Lucas. 3 of these 4 players are heavily tagged, but no more frags for the Brazilians. Fnatic make their way onto the scoreboard.
Clever stuff from JW, right on the edge. But that's perfect. That's exactly what Fnatic needed. They get their opening frags, and then they don't hesitate. Golden just calling for the hit onto B. Don't waste any time. Take advantage of the fact that you've already lit up bolts. Everything falls into place so perfectly for Fnatic, and they're going to make sure that Immortals spend all of their money this round. Lucas was the only one who didn't have too much scratch to work with, so we'll see what he goes for. But the rest of his teammates, yep, they will have the money to go for the buy here. So Lucas, yeah, just has to go for the deagle. Henny, though, with that glass cannon AWP, so we'll see if he can come up with something flashy here. It looks like he wants to go for the peek into Brown Halls.
He's going to have a number of targets headed his way. There are flashbangs for the T side. They flash themselves. He's on fire, and he will just about escape. Got to be careful jumping off that ladder with only 26 HP. But he's alive for the time being. That grenade may land on Golden's head, and indeed it will. That is an apple in a basket, but not very edible.
This is the Kobe, straight up. I love seeing teams use that HE though, because I mean it happens so often where you're going to set up for B, or you're just going to try and hang around that area in Brown Halls, holding upper, holding lower right. That HE, so often you see it get great results. Sounds good. Just get it in there, do a little bit more chip damage to Fnatic, and we'll see now what Fnatic have got in store for us here. Henny is the only one who's taken any damage here for Immortals.
They've got practically no grenades left. In fact, Henny's the only person who has grenades, and he's not really in the best position to throw them as he is the sniper. On some maps, you will have your sniper offer flashbang support, but Henny's role is too important, especially on the B bomb site. Steel being drawn over as there are two smokes deep into B, but the bomb looks to split towards A.
Yeah, Flashshot just trying to make as much noise as possible. Luckily for him, he spots the man behind Spools very early on. Bolts will get the frag and immediately tell his teammates, nobody else is coming through here for Fnatic. This is going to be an A hit. And well, JW, he is carrying that bomb, and he has made it to the bomb train. It's a matter of just sticking it now. But unfortunately, I doubt he's going to get even that. Lucas forces him off of it, and Henny with the final frag in the round. 3-1 for Immortals, bouncing right back into it.
Speaking of threes, they survive with 3 players, which is key for them since their economy was broken immediately. And you can see on your radar, even in this action towards B, the positioning towards A. Kogu was in this forward aggressive position for the longest time, and when JW moves into the A site to go for that plant, the CTs were actually in the T's usual post-plant positions, which left them very exposed. No cover for JW due to the low numbers, and they will find themselves with shortcomings in their buy. 2 pistols onto Crims and Lekro, respectively. But they've still got the sniper onto JW.
It is kind of sad because the Half-Life 3 meme confirmed is dead. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
We can't make that joke anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's 3-3, and then, no, actually, there will not be a third. Gabe and why?
Fnatic with big numbers towards Ivy, looking for an opening. JW can hold the line as his teammates move forward. Needs to cover for each other. Fortunately for Fnatic, that smoke doesn't collide with one of these players, goes between them. That would have given the position away, so they could surprise these Brazilians, and Steel will have to be very careful. Moving around E-Box, going to get popped immediately.
Oh, what a sick shot from Crims. Bolts now, he's going to get that incendiary down, but it's going to be a little bit too late. Once again, Crims getting toasty, but that's not going to be good enough. Bolts, however, will find the frag on the man in Pop Dog and the follow-up on Lekro, who pushed the bomb train. So we're into a 3-on-3 now. JW still looking to get that op in the fight.
Kogu is so close to main, he can hear Golden running around. Doesn't know he's carrying the bomb, but it may give him a clue as to what's going on. That's a big kill onto Crims as well. One of these 2 players has the bomb. And they know roughly where each player is / was. Now Golden starts to emerge, but Kogu maybe made a mistake going for the 180. We'll take him down to 39. They know where the bomb is now. Henny's got a superior angle, and JW again, he picked someone off around the Ivy position earlier, so Henny will have a clue. JW is going to make some noise as he moves into position, and Henny's got to be very, very careful. AWP versus AWP. Bombs collected by JW. Henny, does he dare peek? He does. But JW's on the other side.
Yeah, 10 seconds, bomb plant going through. Molotov trying to force JW out into the open, and he is down to 18 HP. But with the AWP, he just needs a split second, and he can still win this 1v1. Henny holding close to see if JW is going to make any mistakes. It's not looking like it. They've each committed to their angle. Henny just creeping in. JW needs to trust in his judgment now. Just continue to hold, and he will find the shot and secure the round for Fnatic. 1v1, straight up clutch, glass cannon AWP, and 2 frags for the Swede. Big round here for Fnatic.
Immortals so unlucky that that smoke grenade bounced between these 2 pistoling players. If it had collided with either one, that would have been a big clue, and it maybe would have saved Steel's bacon. But it wasn't to be. Crisis management didn't quite get there. JW That is a weight off his shoulders. That was a very big round for both teams, and the temerity to just stand there and hold that angle. Awesome stuff. Great mind games, and it pays off for the T side, leaving the Immortals with not much of anything.
Yeah, you do have to admire JW. Some operators, you know, they start doubting their angle, start second-guessing themselves. JW instead is just like, yeah, maybe he works his way behind me and I die, but I'm not getting off of this angle because if the shot presents itself, I'm not going to miss. And so the veteran making it work, and well, man advantage for Fnatic in this anti-eco round. I mean, this is the force coming through here from Immortals, but Fnatic now primed to start turning things their way. When the buy does come up here for Immortals, it's going to be slim pickings. They might not really have too many nades to work with.
On the plus side here for Fnatic, Immortals have no smokes or any utility whatsoever. So, as Fnatic are currently playing a slow game, Immortals can't cause them problems with ill-timed smokes from the Fnatic point of view. You saw that earlier this week, I think with North being on the receiving end of those smokes. But again, just pistols here for Immortals, along with these this rifle and UMP actually. Henny and Bolts. Bolts fighting, trying to hold on. That's a massive 2K from him. Hasn't quite spotted the bomb, but that's a window of opportunity for the Brazilians.
They need to be very quick here, Fnatic, but unfortunately for them, the flank is already coming through. Steel might get the drop on JW. No, he steps. That gives it away, but he still gets the pre-fire. What a shot from Steel, making all the difference. And if they win this round, Immortals, this could shatter Fnatic. The big spray coming in from Flusha, and he will get the frag. But it's a 1v3. He's got 1 HP, and they know exactly where he's coming from. He's having none of it. Gonna back off and try and save this AK.
Oh, to the victor, the spoils. 3 players surviving for Immortals. Steel picking up an AWP. Bolt still has the rifle. And Kogu, maybe he can upgrade his UMP. That is a very, very unlikely round. Again, Immortals, they had no utility. That 2K around CT spawn was humongous for Immortals, and that really puts Fnatic in a really bad spot early on.
What do you do now? I mean, your economy is going to be in shambles. You're kind of floating around the 2,000, 3,000 mark here for Fnatic, so that's not enough to go for the force buy. It's really just going to have to play around Flusha, hope that he can achieve the same thing that Bolts did in the last round, come with a big play. We saw it earlier today, so we definitely know that Flusha's capable.
Yeah, Bolts and Steel as well. They've both been very big players for Immortals this week so far. Bolts leading the charge in a few matches, but Steel never far behind. JW knows his angles. This might be fun to watch, this AWP versus AWP battle. No Kevlar, so JW will succumb to that bullet through the wall.
Such a sick flick from Henny. I'm impressed. And that's exactly what he's known for. He's known for his quick flicks. And so, first shot, first blood goes to Immortals, 4-2 of the score. And while still waiting on Flusha to try and make something happen, unfortunately for him, he's hoping that Henny overextends, but there's absolutely no reason for Immortals to play close now. They know what's up, and you can see that they've fallen back. Bolts and Henny taking very defensive positions, not going to let themselves get run down by CZs or P250s or anything of the like. So I like that here from Immortals, some discipline.
Yeah, which they don't always have. They can be inconsistent with this, as we saw on Cobblestone. So again, just putting that range between them and the pistols is really strong. There's still the AK onto Flusha, and at this point, does he want to sacrifice it? It seems he has little choice. Immortals on the high ground in 2 directions. So it's going to be very hard for the bomb to go down, but they just about managed to do it. Fnatic with that crucial bonus money, getting that plant in the nick of time.
It's going to be huge for their money. That bonus 800 across the board, it opens up options. They can get that AWP glass cannon on JW again if they like. Flusha, if he's feeling generous, can even drop it for JW and run without nades in the next round. Things are looking up, but it will just be full AKs and nearly full nades across the board here for Fnatic. So, man, that bomb plant just made their day. That could make all the difference here in this round.
Yes, now they, AWP aside, they have much more freedom afforded to them than they did in round 3, for example, when they had the flashes, the smokes, and the AKs. So let's see what they can do with a much better buy. Once again, standard stuff from Immortals, 4 players in the A site, but it looks like they might get aggressive towards Ivy, or maybe just some grenades thrown. Meanwhile, Flusha's harassing towards the B bomb site. They don't know where Henny is just yet, the Fnatic side. He was where Bolts was previously, but now he's in the middle of the A site. So it's important as well that Immortals are rotating their sniper. That can always be a nasty surprise for your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want a static AWPer. We've seen some teams in North America, actually, who tend to put him in the same position, but not Immortals. Great push into main. Not shy of being aggressive, Immortals.
Yeah, the information play. Just getting in there to A main after Flusha, with a bit of a diversion. I like that from Flusha. You can see the layers here in the play from Fnatic. Flusha making a little noise over towards B. Similar situation as last time. You know, Immortals have seen this before, and so they immediately have rotated Henny over. There was an opportunity there for Fnatic to take advantage of it, but instead Immortals jumped the gun, decided to take the fight to him first. And so now they have the man advantage going into the hold here. 45 seconds left on the clock. Fnatic still with plenty of utility. And Lekr and Golden just now inching their way out from alley.
Lucas's position is really important as this push comes in. Should the T's try to go through the smoke, Henny is there and Kogu's close towards main. But the double peek will be enough. Lucas with no kills, that's going to be a problem. Kogu's pushed forward now. He may end up flanking Flusha, who takes down Steel. This is going to be really interesting. Immortals almost have a diagonal line through the site, so how does the bomb go down? That Molotov may certainly help.
That's unreal. Neatly blocking off Kogu. 3-on-3, but Kogu still, despite that, finds the frag. 2-on-2 retake now. Crims looking to make the difference here, and he should be able to find the shot on Kogu. Sure does. So it's on Henny now, 1v2. He's walking into a crossfire on one of the hardest sites to retake in the business. Henny, can he find the shot? No. Crims already backing off, just toying with him, playing for time. And in the meantime, you still have Flusha with 4 HP. Sure, he doesn't have a whole lot of health, but Henny has no idea where he's playing from. And sure enough, Flusha will find the frag, him looking the wrong way. This is just going to be, I get the feeling this is going to be back and forth.
Yeah, and that may just give us a good game. Money tight for Immortals now. Kogu with almost 7k, but Steel with 3.5. So there is quite a disparity. They will buy regardless. You may wonder if a Mag 7 was coming up, but Steel will opt for the UMP instead. Still good at close quarters. Double AWPs, almost inevitable with the Immortals team. So there will be 3 on the server in total for this round. And this time there'll be 2 towards B, which probably means Henny will go for an aggressive peek. Only Flusha is over there. Lucas with a very forward position, but Kogu will be the initial engager. Trades very early on towards Ivy. That might just favor Fnatic.
Well, that's unfortunate. Lucas wanting to get a piece of the action there. Might have made the one call that could cost his team. 4-on-4 should favor Fnatic, and they have the utility advantage as well.
But look at Henny's position. He's so forward in B that he's allowing the rest of his team to focus on the A site, which is a very nice response.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, that information going to get communicated over, certainly. So it'll be a question of whether Flusha decides to make some noise over here or not. Golden now swapped out to the AWP. Can he AWP? Is this going to be something? Giving up the angle, that's a little bit risky.
I do wonder if it was because of the flames, because it can be hard to see someone through the flames, so you may feel like he was vulnerable while those flames were quite high.
45 seconds left. Starting to get to that time where Fnatic are going to have to pull the trigger. Waiting on Golden, I suppose, to give the go-ahead here. Lekr just kind of dancing around. And, well, Immortals, they remain supreme here on the A site with the 3 set up. Henny still holding Brown Halls is going to be telling him, nobody over here towards B. It's got to be the pointy letter. And sure enough, Fnatic pushing out. Steel finds the first shot, but he will get traded. And Kogu missing a key frag. That could have turned it.
Now Henny's coming in on the flank, but time is against Fnatic. Flusha might hear him, but they've got to pick up the bomb. Bomb's on the floor now, Crim's getting picked off. Kogu repositioning, Bolt's lost in the meantime. 2-on-2, 12 seconds. That clock's going to start to turn red. That bomb has to go down.
Sure enough now, it's going to be on communication here for Fnatic as Henny rotating in from Pop Dog eventually finds the frag on Flusha. So 1v1. Henny's been in this spot before. He lost it last time versus JW. Now it's on the young in-game leader here for Fnatic. On Golden, and Henny seems to have an idea. Is he wondering, is it going to be Sniper? Is he going to be up high? Golden, no Molotov to buy any more time here, so he's going to have to wait for the bomb tap in the peak. Is timing going to happen? That's it. Golden, does he hunt him? Does he actually manage to... Well, no. Decides better of it. He might be able to actually get out of here with an AWP of his own, and yeah, sure enough, he'll find JW's op.
More close rounds. Difficult for Henny. No kit made life even more problematic for him. So this is the initial peak from Kogu, and then Lucas taken down in the meantime. Golden with good positioning, and comes to play later to win the round.
I mean, this is nitpicking, but it is a shame that Lucas decides to step out because he gives away that advantage of having the angle already. When if somebody was going to be there to trade for that AWPer, they would step in looking for Kogu, and then Lucas should be able to get the free kill. But, I mean, Lucas is known for his aggression. He likes to get in there and look for the fight, and that time it kind of bit him. So we'll see how they develop here as Immortals once again just putting it all on the line.
Steel going for a big push into the ladder room, and he will be successful with 20 HP. Not going to try and pick up that weapon, just going to get out of there, take the man advantage, not be too greedy. Fnatic bundling around main, which Immortals have shown aggression in on a number of occasions. Kogu getting lost now. Will there be a pop flash for Lucas? He's lining up as if there would be. Henny had the angle, but no, just going to go raw peek straight into JW. JW will be straight into his face.
Yeah, Henny did have 2 flashes. Steel, who was closest, didn't. He only had the smoke, but still, Henny might have been able to help out a little bit. Unfortunately, that's not going to pan out here. Now Immortals are a man down on a force buy situation as well. Bolts with that CZ over on the B site, and we've lost Henny to JW now. Henny trying to make the difference. Not this time. It's going to be on Steel, holding solo on the A site. 1v4. Might catch Lekro, but then JW should be in position to trade. Nope, never mind. Lekro wins the duel himself.
That leaves Bolts alone. And I think we have to give credit to JW's position in main, because judging by Henny was around the IV position, and I can only assume that he was holding a line with the AWP through to main. But JW's angle wasn't exposed there and was kind of diagonal. So I think it's just great awareness from JW that lets him get that kill while Immortals are still trying to work together with the range of the AWP. But now there's difficulty for the Immortals side. They've had a few buys which have been a struggle, but that struggle may get worse now as they lose another round. And it might be Eco Town for the Brazilians as Fnatic tied the score 5-5.
It's got to be, right? I mean, they've been force buying non-stop, and they've had success, but I mean, now's where you kind of have to draw the line. Bolts really just needs to hold on to this CZ75. That's exactly what he's going to do. So he'll have the HE, the flash, maybe a smoke in the next round, and it should be a hard eco for the rest of his teammates as JW. There's the first frag on Kogu. That was fine work from him to open things up.
Bolts has a grenade. He may wish for the greatest grenade of all time in this round, because that's pretty much all they have going for them besides the odd CZ. Will we see a grenade into main? I can't imagine Fnatic would be taking aggressive positions early, so probably wouldn't lead to much. 3-man push towards the IV position, but Steel's going to get the info towards the B bomb site. He should see the bomb as well, and JW's seen the push towards IV, picked off Kogu, maybe saw Lucas. So this anti-ego is looking pretty good for Fnatic at the moment.
Yep, they just need to take their time with it, Fnatic. You got that 2-man advantage. You haven't killed Bolts. He's the one with the Kevlar, so there's a little bit of a question mark in it, but with a 2-man advantage, really, this should be your round to dominate. Although, as I say that, Bolts long range gets the headshot on Golden with that CZ, but Flusha's there to trade it, takes down Bolts. And so Fnatic, all they have to do now is group up and push. They know they've only got 2 guys left alive here who only have the pistols, so get all 4 of you together, move together as a unit, and just work your way onto a bomb site. There shouldn't be too much hope here for the Immortals players. Lucas, yep, out in the open. Lekro finds the shot instantly. And it's on Henny now. He's got a UMP.
Picked up some toys. I did like Lucas's position. He tried to get that close quarters engagement again. Pre-patch, the P50 still has that one-shot kill power, which will soon disappear. Going for it is Henny. Nothing to lose here, no Kevlar. All he can do is try to farm some money. Not going to make it easy for them to kill him. Trying to suggest he's repositioning, although firing the gun to cover his jump down.
Oh!
Oh boy.
Wrecked.
JW, of course, hunting somebody who's trying to farm money for an AWP, with an AWP, and knifing him. Who better than JW?
That was sick. That's how it's supposed to go. That's how it's supposed to work. Just wait up there, and sure enough.
He is an absolute master at this, honestly. Because if you think about it, he's there on his complete own, at risk of losing the AWP, but his team give him the freedom to do that, and he has a playstyle such that delivers in that situation. I remember when Simple was on Liquid with Adren on Dust 2, and they were at long doors, and Simple was hunting with the AWP, and Adren felt compelled to support him in case something went wrong, and they both died. Right, which is the worst that can happen, but JW just has carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wants, and that is just hilarious, all things considered. And how does that not tilt you? It's like the dude is chasing you with an AWP when you're trying to farm with a UMP for an AWP.
And the guy's now got more than 10 grand in the bank, full bot. That is sick. If you're on Fnatic right now, we used to have a term for JW. He loved to play with the shotgun, right? Just make money. He was the Bank of Sweden, and right now, business is a booming for him. He's looking good.
warning shots to Bolts. I don't know how he didn't get tagged in that situation. Maybe JW is moving too fast, but people are being lost in the meantime for both sides. Bolts taking a lot of damage and a little bit more. 3-on-3 very quickly here on Train.
Yeah, the perfect change of pace. What a call coming in from Golden, and speak of the devil, finds the shot on Henny as well. Drops him, and now JW with the angle on Kogu. Sure enough, there doesn't seem to be a hope, a prayer here for Immortals in this round. They just got overwhelmed, but you have to love the change of pace coming in from Golden.
I think Golden pre-fired Connector while the Molotov was going off in case a CT tried to quickly run through the Molotov before he took too much damage, which is awesome.
I mean, Golden is certainly stepping up. You know, we have a little bit of a question mark coming into this. The change, right? You know, who is replacing what? Golden. Who is this? It's turning out that the man can frag, he can call, and now we can see why Fnatic elected to give him that Supreme Leader role.
Supreme Leader.
Indeed. The Golden God.
7-5. Fnatic with a 2-round lead, and the Immortals are back onto pistols. 2 high explosive grenades. Will they go towards the main position? There is one. And there is the other one. 25 HP left on JW. He's also blind. Not going well for JW at the moment, but he will stand his ground, of course. Would you expect anything else? I think he does have support from Crim, from 2 players, in fact, so not in too hairy a situation. Nobody likes too much air.
Especially not today. And there are the shots. Crims and Golden. Well, this is just going to be the anti-eco, isn't it? Doesn't look like there's a whole lot to talk about here. I mean, speaking of which, I read some article the other day where apparently a football player was able to like take a sick day because he had a pimple from shaving his legs. Like he just didn't play the match because a pimple got infected or something from shaving his legs. I'm just like, bro, swimmers, okay, fair enough. There's like that water resistance, whatever, right?
Put a plaster on it.
But, you know, football player?
Soccer
player.
What is he shaving it with, an axe?
Don't even know, man. That's unreal. I was like, man, if soccer couldn't get more lame, I mean, I think they just found a way.
Oh, soccer, yeah.
Yeah, football, soccer, right? You know?
That's just embarrassing. Definitely wasn't English.
I think if it was American football and you showed up with that excuse, the coach would probably just like bitch slap you and just send you back out on the field. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, same in England. No one's accepting that. That's unbelievable.
This was a professional. This was like Premier League or something.
Look at this. There's an AWP with Kevlar onto Henny. He's actually got some armor for once. Good times for Henny, and he's got JW and Flush ahead in his direction, going for that initial peek towards the B bomb site, and he will be successful. But that's only 1 kill. There are 4 players alive for Fnatic, and they've had some success as of late, and it continues with a pick onto Bolts.
Yeah, the man himself, Flusha, delivers. Holding close Pop Dog, Crims, creating that space over by A main, finds Steel playing aggressive at Electric Box. And so now things get pretty interesting here. It's going to get spicy for Immortals. They still have both ops in play. Flusha nearly finding 1 frag there. But he's got information. He knows that at least 1 player from Immortals is holding over by Alley. That's going to help things out here for Lekro. When it comes time for him to push, he's right on the edge and right through the smoke. Drops Lucas. Perfect play.
Henny racing to try and support that position. There may be a duel over there, but first Kogu may not expect a second player. Golden, he's got the bomb. He has to take a chance, and he will do it with perfect timing. There goes Henny as well, punctured by Flusha. A rare sight with the AWP, a 2K for him. Not a rare sight today. Flusha's had many rounds and many multi-frags, and that puts Fnatic 1 step closer to double figures here.
Yeah, not looking like the highs are high for Immortals, but the lows doesn't really look like anybody's too pleased over right now going into the 15th round and a force buy. At least a little talking now. Because at the end of that round, everybody just looked dead, stony-faced, just staring at their monitors.
That is 7 rounds in a row for Fnatic. Victory is in a distant past as far as Immortals are concerned in this half. Again, a standard 4-1 setup between A and B for the CT side, but also standard in terms of their buy. Very much lacking money in this last round of the first half. 2-man push coming in. The pre-buy is there from Flusha, but it's not enough.
What fantastic work from Lucas. He's right on the edge. The nade, somehow he kills himself, JW, trying to get clever, and that ends up costing him, but then they line up. This is total chaos, out and out. Lekro now trying to make the difference here for his team. He does get that flash off perfectly. Kogu right on the edge, not going to live much longer. 2-on-2. Steel with the flash. They both have FAMASs, but Fnatic still have a full set of nades on Golden, so let's see what they can come up with.
Bomb still in control of Fnatic. Lecro repositioning. Steel too far away to hear him at the moment, but perhaps... Oh no, Lecro is starting to walk now. He knows his cues could be given away on the low ground. So Immortals will have to split one per site and do the best they can do. But what better two to have in this situation? Bolts and Steel, the guys who've been getting these multi-frags for their team so far this week here at ELEAGUE.
This just comes down to the two young guns on the team here, Golden and Lecro. And are they going to have the experience to peek in front of this train? It is not a common angle. Lecro not looking, he's checking spools, fair enough, but he will get traded by Golden. So into the 1v1 we go, 10 seconds left, well, just about. And Golden just going to go for the bold plant right in front of Connector. This is uncommon, this is unexpected, and Steel, we'll see how he reacts once he figures this out. Well, he'll react by ripping Golden's head off.
It's a very good reaction indeed. 6-9 saves Immortals from allowing Fnatic to get to double figures, but it's still a pretty sticky situation moving into the second half. It's going to be a very crucial pistol between these two teams, and it may be a tied score or a big lead for the Swedes. So it's all to play for moving into the second half.
Well, guys, we will take a short commercial break here at halftime, and when we come back, we'll see who's going to win the pistol and who's going to pick up the first map.
Immortals and Fnatic continues now on train. They are about to swap sides. The score is 9-6 in favor of the Swedes at the moment, and Flusher has been a big part of their success all week, and there he is compared to Bolts. Big players for both teams. Bolts 2 kills ahead at the moment, but can he keep it up? He will need to if Immortals are to tie things up again. Very crucial pistol round. When you get a 9-6 scoreline, you're often looking at 12-6 or 9-9, so it can make a hell of a difference if you win or lose. And he's going to be the grenade man on the T side. Crims with a high explosive and a defuse kit. So if there is an approach towards B, I would imagine that high explosive will be trying to stop a plant. Let's see what happens.
It's going to be all about the positioning here. 4 players, and JW pushing Hallie aggressively here at the very beginning. Henny is holding this angle though, but JW will have the advantage given the fact that he has the USP. Long range versus Henny. Henny has to kind of dodge out. Can't really face that duel. With the Glock, he is at a distinct disadvantage, not going to have that one-shot headshot. But that's some information gained. Fnatic are going to be happy about that. JW getting all the way out there for that info.
Yeah, and he's just holding that. That's map control now.
That's sick. That's really well played by JW. Ballsy, I like it.
Yeah, and Immortals, I mean, this may distract them for a while. They seem to want to take this duel. The numbers game will favor them, but the guns will not. And that is one headshot delivered to JW, and there's another one. Job done for Immortals.
JW, well, that wasn't part of the plan, I think. Golden is only just now getting over there. Perhaps to see if he can set it up, and he does spot Henny, get the one tag onto him. He needs to be careful about not overcommitting to this, and he needs to get back onto that site because the push is coming through here for Immortals. They're barreling out as a unit, and sure enough, Kogu, another frag for him with Steel's help. And now the A site firmly belongs to Immortals. That bomb will get planted. And well, it's going to start ticking here. Fnatic, what's the play?
The yellow outline swarming on the A site like bees. 3 CTs make it 2 still alive at the moment. Flusher trying to do what he can. Golden trying to find a target, but they don't need to serve themselves up for free. Bolt's in the ladder room. Flusher's taken Kogu down. Henny looking the wrong way. All of a sudden it becomes winnable for the CT side. How have they done this? Flusher, of course. 3 kills for him and 2 for Golden. That is an absurd retake by Fnatic.
That's unreal. And now we have a quick change here coming up. Don't know if it's been paused. Yes, it has. We have a tech pause coming through here as Lucas is going to change things up. Henny, definitely don't want to break your hand slamming the desk. But yeah, they can't be happy about that. I mean, that's Immortals with the round. They have 5 players alive, control of A site, everything going their way. How do they lose that round?
That is bananas. I'm not sure what Henny was looking at towards his right-hand side because he had his teammate Bolts in the ladder room, so I don't know if he was confused by a sound cube and thought it was one place when it was somewhere else, but there we go. Maybe it was just timing.
Yeah,
10 to 6.
We're live. Sorry, I was headphone issue. It's like, yeah, but it was Lucas. It wasn't Henny, right? You know, so it was Lucas who had the headphone issue here. He changed out his earbuds with his coach Zach real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's up. I mean, I have heard of players having their headphones in backwards or like the earbuds in, you know, wrong ears. But I mean,
yeah, perhaps. I mean,
at the second half, I mean, you've already played a first half, right? I think you'd pick up on that pretty quick.
yeah, let's hope not. So 9-6 to start this half. Fnatic winning the pistol. If they if they don't fall to an eco or a force buy, there isn't a full investment here from the teams let's mention, then they're in a pretty good spot. And Immortals might realize this, which is why they haven't invested much into this round. Because 12-6 is not a scoreline where you're just starting out in the second half that you want if you're the 6.
Yeah, if you're the 6 and if you're on the T side of train, that's not a fun time at all.
And if you're the 12, then you might say you're golden.
Hey. Golden, speak of the devil, he's out there peeking. I like it that they've buddied up over here at Alley. Lucas will eventually find the wallbang shot on Golden. It's up to Crims to try and bring it back, and he fluffs it. Hardly does anything at all. So Fnatic getting picked off one after another here. This isn't pretty.
Bolts has managed to get himself a Mag 7, which he will gift to Henny. But how do they get close enough to use it? Steel, look at Steel, he's in the middle of the B bomb site. He can pull a rotation, Bolts can hold the ladder room, and they've pretty much got the whole bomb site. But you see Flusher starting to move in, making noise. Steel will know he's there, and there it is. 2 bursts, he goes down, and the Fnatic know the jig is up. They have pretty much lost this round. What do they decide to do? 2 versus 5 with FAMAS and a scout? Doesn't seem likely.
Still a hard eco. Still a hard eco. If you can get in here quick enough, there's still a chance. It's just a matter of, well, looking the right way at the right time and having Lady Luck, you know, be on your side just a little bit here. There's another frag for Crims as he charges into Steel. So 2-on-3, no Kevlar on Immortals. So Lekro with this scout, he will be a danger, he will be a threat, but they have no utility and they have no kits picked up here, Fnatic, so they really just don't have a whole lot of time to play with. And now, well, if they haven't gotten more out of the situation by now, I think it is kind of time to back off and try and save.
They don't have kits, these CT players, so this is very unlikely to be winnable, and that is definitely the death knell for this round. Lekro trying to do damage now, but he'll get traded. Henny making money with the Mag 7 as well, and collecting an M4. Marvelous stuff for Immortals. What a crazy round. Look at that. How about that for a double peak? I have not seen that before.
That's so sick. Surprise, surprise. And then Lucas on the other side of the map winning his duel versus Golden. Crims, I think this is on a little bit on Crims, you know? It's like, okay, you might lose Golden, but Crims needs to trade in that scenario. Lucas can't get out of there in one piece.
How absurd. Considering their minimal investment, they cannot have expected much chance to win that round, but now Henny finds himself already on an AWP.
Yeah, that was a hard eco. That was a hard eco, no Kevlar. That's a disaster for Fnatic, and now it's Fnatic who are going for the force buy, and it's not working out for him. Steel already finds the headshot on Golden, and so we're at a man advantage for Immortals. JW pushing up, trying to get clever, and he might win the duel, but it's not going to happen. Kogu drops him.
Yeah, really important that Immortals had support for the AWP. It can be somewhat awkward to be on an anti-eco round with an AWP, especially early on, but Immortals are weathering the storm at the moment. Lekro has a Deagle in play. We've seen more than one highlight from him.
Yeah, that's very well done. So long as Kogu's communicating to Lucas, we should get a free kill here. Yep. Good on Kogu not to re-peek that. You know you're at risk when you're on 40 HP versus a Deagle. No reason to peek into it. Just make sure you communicate well with your teammates and set them up for the frag instead. So some solid team play there coming in from Immortals. That's exactly what we've been seeing from Kogu. Really appreciate it. You know, it's like he has shown that he can hit the op shots, right? And he can come up with the flashy plays. He's had a few clutches yesterday. But I'm really appreciating just the basic team play that he brings to this roster as the stand-in. I kind of hope to see more of him because he sacrifices himself. He knows how to make smart decisions like the one we just saw there. And it really feels like he brings a lot to the roster.
Immortals plant the bomb with ease, and we'll see if Flusha can get anything out of this. It's always important. Something to look for the T side is if they have control of Pop Dog and they manage to take over the Ivy position, it pretty much cuts the A bomb site in half, which gives them cover to plant the bomb towards those positions. Makes it really hard for the CTs to stop it unless they've managed to sneak somebody undetected around that main area. So that is one of the reasons Ivy is an important area to control.
Very curious to see how this pans out now, because Fnatic had a bit of a similar run. It's just that Immortals, while they're making it happen a little earlier here, they have succeeded in breaking Fnatic's economy. This is going to be a hard eco coming in here from Fnatic, trying to play off Flusha with that CZ. And going into the next round, it isn't going to get much better. Going to be light on the nades, light on the utility. So we'll see. It's all about that 20th round now for Fnatic. Because Immortals right now, they're filthy rich. Surviving anti-ecos with 4 players alive, they're only going to keep growing their bank. And Kogu's got that UMP too, so he'll be looking to farm a little bit here.
All the Swedes around that Ivy position, dancing around the trains, trying to get a bit closer, but it is a firing squad here. Kogu's going to get his bell rung, but he's got support coming around the corner. He's lost the bomb, but it's, well, it could be a big deal because they've lost 3 players now. Flusha with that infamous CZ getting a kill, and there may be weapons to collect here for the CT side indeed. Flusha picks up the M4. Crim's still on the USP, so if Immortals can take one of these players down soon before another rifle is picked up, then that would certainly help.
This is the quality of Fnatic, right? I mean, some vintage going on here just because this is a hard eco. And yet somehow we're looking at Immortals coming out ahead here? No. Point blank shot. The attempt is there. Crim's backing off, toying with him. Henny gonna go darting right back into Flush's waiting arms if he heads towards that train. And so he backs off out into the open, looking for the flick, and he finds it. That's the big play.
The bomb's ticking, blinking right in front of him, which gives him options. He knows there is a line where Crim's likely is, and that is to the left of his crosshair. So he can make a play towards the B bomb site, but he's got to be fast. He's got a smoke. He can even use it for a fake. He could put the smoke here in connector and try and plant for that area and keep an eye on things. But there's no guarantee Crim's is still there. No utility used just yet. Going to go for a side plant, and he'll be able to do that. Crim's on the other side of A.
What? And then he throws the smoke all the way over by the ramp. Interesting. Oh, Crimson's got an AK now, so he's got that one tap. Definitely. Oh, that one shot gives it away. Henny is so low on HP. One bullet from the AK will do the trick. This is all going to be a fight on guts now. Will Henny trust himself? Will he not show? Crim's just going to get in there and tap that bomb. He doesn't have the kit, and Henny has to know this. They're facing an eco. He has to know that he can take his time with this peak. And sure enough, he'll only just now get into it. And what is this? Crim's hits the shot, but he won't have the time. No joy here for Fnatic. They did tremendous economic damage to Immortals. They saved the AWP. Crim's with the clutch in the end, but it is still a round going to Immortals.
That is a crazy difficult round. Oh man, that Glock shot. Really tense stuff towards the end. Immortals just about successful there, but the AWP is taken by Fnatic. It's in the hands of JW, and Fnatic are back on the buy and still in the lead. Both teams on the buy for this round, and there's not much cash in the bank for Fnatic. Immortals could maybe eke out another buy should they lose this one. So this is a key round for the Swedes in particular.
Absolutely, they need to have that impact here. Like we saw JW early on, very quick change of pace coming in here from Immortals, just charging out onto the A site, and it is just going tit for tat, back and forth, 3-on-3 now, frags everywhere, but the A site under control for Immortals. So Henny gonna make his way forward to pick up that bomb, and as I say it though, through the smoke, Golden just spamming, drops Lucas, and there's the advantage for Fnatic. They just need to play patient now and just wait for that bomb plant sound.
There's a smoke around the corner for Bolts. He can't really support Henny in this situation. Henny taking gambles up on the train. Maybe a matter of time before he was spotted. That leaves Bolt alone. 1 versus 3 on train. Not the easiest of maps to deal with that, and he will not be successful this time. 11-9 for Fnatic, surviving with 3 players. Still carrying the AWP. Lots of plus points for them.
Unbelievable. That was a sick frag. And the follow-up here from Golden, right through the smoke, dead on. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way, Lucas, and that was one of them. Golden, man, making all the difference there in that round with those 2 frags.
Yeah, he's made a lot of smart plays. Over the top of the smoke, he can see the top of the train, so he knows where the line is to shoot on the side of it, and has great timing in that instance. Immortals back on the buy. As we mentioned, they would have money for another one. Score very tight now, and this is now just a key round for both teams. Yeah. Nobody wants to lose this one.
All the economy rolling on it. Flusha going for that MP9. You know, speaking of money, he wants to make it, but Crims wins the duel in Pop Dog versus Steel. So that's a good start here for the Swedes. We'll see. Golden about to have a pretty sad time of it. Yep, gets caught peeking by Henny, who's not going to miss a shot like that. And so Immortals bringing it back to a 4-on-4 advantage for them, although they are running low on the utility. Lucas is the only one with a smoke to play with here, right on the edge. He's going to go charge again, but he gets team flashed. The communication imperfect for Immortals, and that ends up costing him. There was a golden opportunity there to punish JW, and Lucas knew it.
And that's the bomb in tow as well, which makes things really awkward for Immortals. Flusha very close to this play. Did they see the trajectory of that grenade? Flusha coming through the smoke. 2-man spray down. The garden hose is out. 4 versus 2 now for Fnatic. Immortals have the bomb, but they don't have much else. It's just Lucas and his Deagle, Kogu and his AK.
Oh my god. And they're still peeking him. JW plays. Lekro will find the kill. That's a little bit tense. You don't need to be facing the dig. Kogu catches Flusha looking the wrong way, so that's a little unfortunate for him, but it's a 1v3 here still with 30 seconds left. And it's looking like Lekro, he's playing aggressive, holding that angle. And he's going to step right out into Kogu's waiting arms. Another frag that probably did not have to go for Immortals. So Fnatic, they're getting a little bit excited here.
Ooh, where is he going? 17 seconds. He was never going to make it to the B bomb site.
I was going to be cutting it a bit fine, yeah.
Flusha with just perfect timing here. I don't know if the flashbang hit someone or what, but yeah, he looks above him. And
I think he hears the footsteps behind him as he's pushing in, right? Because the guy jumps on the train and then jumps off the train. All of this while Flusha's running in. So I think Flusha's like, wait, okay. There's a guy behind me somewhere here. And Flusha's just so good. That MP9 does so much damage up close too. So it's really perfect the way he did that. Played aggressive up close.
Makes a lot of money as well. And he will continue with it because they know that Immortals are on eco territory. So he'll look to make more money and be the expendable person. He can be more aggressive. Speaking of aggression, who better than JW to get the first pick and the second pick and maybe the third pick?
Pad those stats. And to eco time, Crims, he's getting on that train as well. Bomb is dropped, and what is this? Henny wants nothing to do with it. He's trying to use it as bait, it looks like it, but unfortunately, man, you're going up against rifles, you're going up against AWP, and really, I would love to see Flusha actually be the one to pick up the frag here, but sure enough, it's not going to happen. Lekro will rob him. So that MP9 not really coming to use, but he does save the M4 that got dropped by Crims. So that's solid work there from Flusha regardless. 13-9 for Fnatic. 3 rounds away from picking up the first map in this best of 3.
They are looking good at the moment, and that was a really good round for them to make some money. It's a tactical timeout from Immortals at the moment, and it is buy time for the team, but it's one of those buys where you're just north of $4,000, and like we saw in the first half, it might be a faster strategy from Immortals due to a lack of utility. Not guaranteed though, they could buy some smokes and go for an execute, but the problem with executes is their intentions can be somewhat telegraphed, and there are ways around those wall of smokes as you would see from Cloud9 for example, with automatic on the CT side. He'll drop a smoke in front of the wall of smokes and just hide between them and stop a plant from going down. So let's see what Immortals have in mind.
I'm going to be very curious. Fun to see that Flusha is still going for the MP9 as well. Makes you think that he's going to get aggressive Pop Dog or a main again. And sure enough, straight up to E-Box. Very close indeed to Pop. Just running his way in there. And Bolts must have been close enough to hear that. And yeah, they are watching for the push. But instead, it's going to be Brown Hall's aggression. 3 players pushing in, looking for the kills. And sure enough, they're going to find him. Bolts is there to pick up one of his own, but that's not going to be good enough. And it's Golden under fire here at Alley. Lucas trying to find the trade, and he nearly does. Golden survives with 46 HP.
T-Smoke helping him out, but the positioning, who does it favor? The numbers game, definitely with Fnatic, and it gets even better. JW in CT spawn with the sniper. That will leave Henny. They seem to know his position, definitely do now. Tagging JW down to 9, but that won't be enough. Got to be careful with his tracers as well. Flusher going down. There's a minute on the clock here, and he's got most of his health, Henny, so there's a chance he could do some more damage.
Going for the pistol fake. He will bait the shot. A little bit of info to work with there. Going for the pre-fire as well. I'm loving this from Henny. He is dialed in, but he has no idea that Crim's is holding right around the corner. No way for him to know either. I mean, that's just one of those unlucky situations where you kind of have to shrug if you're Henny. You did everything you could. And so 3 players survive for Fnatic. Both ops survive as well, which is huge for that money that continues to grow. And now it's the home stretch here for the Swedes. And it's not looking like Immortals want to give this up lightly or try and battle for overtime. They don't have the faith in their play right now, so they're going to go for the Hail Mary. Just throwing it out there. The force buy here in the 24th round.
That is a really rough buy for the Brazilians, but they feel they have no choice. They could play against match point with max loss bonus and have the maximum buy, but they don't fancy that, so the force buy is here. The Galil, the UMPs, the pistols, they have 1 smoke grenade. They have 1 smoke on train, so their options are severely limited, and they barely have the range to make up for the lack of utility to get close. They've got the Galil, and that's about it. Galil and the Deagle for long-range engagements in this round.
Yeah, Lucas around alley as usual. That's where the Deagle's playing from. I'm liking how Steel is so thorough with that aggressive smoke that was thrown up around halls, making sure that nobody could play aggressive behind it. Crim's still holding Pop Dog. He's hearing the steps, and so Crim, so long as he stays here, he's gaining so much audio information. He keeps hearing stomping around there. So he's able to communicate that to his teammates. It looks like they want to set it up. Identical rather, play. And unfortunately for them, Crims is already backed out, but not fast enough. Bolts right on the angle, finds the shot. Sick play from him, and now there's the man advantage here for Immortals.
It's a nice opening for them, but again, they've got 1 high explosive grenade, and that's it. No flashbangs, no way to get any further map control. They just literally need to run out and take Jules versus a far better equipped Fnatic, even a man down. 2 sniper rifles in tow for Fnatic, and there's the first one. JW delivering around the Pop Dog. Missing the second shot, though. Bolts again with the Galil.
Surprising to see JW miss that one. That was a big opportunity. Now it's on Golden to rotate back around to try and deny it. Flusher runs right into a bullet from Bolts. Excellent work here from Bolts with that Galil, making it count. But a 2-on-3 retake, a kit on Golden, who isn't too far off that bomb train. And they refuse, but now with 8 seconds left, they have to go. And Henny holding the angle, not going to get caught off guard. Let Grow missing shots as well. And this feels like Fnatic, they had the chance for the kills, and they just missed them in this round.
That was a very difficult round for Immortals, but they pick up not 1 but 2 sniper rifles, and you have to give credit to Bolts. He had the only good weapon in that round, really, let's be honest, and that puts Immortals on double figures. A mere 4 rounds away from Fnatic. It's doable, but Fnatic are coming straight back at them with a full buy. Fnatic have been afforded opportunity to build cash for a while, but if they are broken on this buy, they will be in trouble as well.
Yeah, both of them. Still not clear for Immortals. They don't quite have that money either. And so they've managed to keep Fnatic off a map point. So far, so good. Now they need to break the Swedes back and make it possible to tie things up.
I like how both orbs for Immortals were in the same place, in main. Henny to the right, as you can see. And Kogu was over to the left, but is now, I think, deploying some grenades. Bolt perhaps suggesting another play. But Crims has used the opportunity. He heard the reload and needs to move forward to take these players by surprise in case they try to set up for that double peek again.
Look at that. It's a one-way. He's right on the edge. One way. I mean, he's right on the edge of the smoke, hoping that Bolts gets greedy. Oh, such a shame. And now he's even getting his teammate to back him up. A follow-up smoke. And so Crims basically gets to stay here and continue to listen. It might be in Bolts' mind to think that Crims has backed off, and so they might stomp around here a little bit and give audio information to Crims.
We have another issue here, though. We've got sub 50 seconds, and Immortals have 2 AWPs, which makes it really awkward when you have time pressure to try and enter into a site. Can they make it work for them? Kogu has the bomb. Seems to be around A main, but perhaps he's in the halls to bring it towards the B bomb site. 30 seconds now, and Immortals, they start to move in again. These double ops looking for the entries, being teased by the barrel of the gun, and JW will take the bait and punish. 3 plays left for Immortals. They are running out of people and running out of time.
And Golden with the key frag on Lucas. Lucas going to open everything up, but instead it will be map point here for Fnatic. 4 players surviving for them. And really, you got to give it to Crims. I think him finding that first shot on Pop Dog, it slowed down the push in A main long enough for JW to rotate back over to B, because let's be fair, JW, he took the bait. A single flash was thrown out onto B site. Immortals were hoping for a rotation, and JW obliged them. He went straight into connector. He was not in position to help on that A site initially. And so Crims, he just bought so much time for his team there in Pop Dog. You got to give it to him. And well, now, once again, Immortals, can they do it again? That's the question.
Yeah, how do they make it work this time? Really, these the double ops on the T side, I think that really can limit your versatility, especially when the time starts to run out. Aggressive take of Ivy by Fnatic once again, limiting an already limited Immortals. 2 rifles, 3 pistols. Some utility here and there, but we haven't seen the usual executes, if you will. The textbook ones, the obvious ones.
Them smoke walls. They might be electing to go for that now, though. Lucas and Henny. They're in those positions. Kogu not too far away. Steel's going to rotate over as well. And we might be looking at that. JW and Golden kind of working as a duo over here outside of Alley. JW will be the one to draw the fire. Golden will be there to spring the trap if JW were to get pushed. And that's just a decoy nade, not even a flash. JW not giving up on it.
So maybe Immortals will try to capitalize on the A site while the CTs are out of position. JW going for a massive flank. He's not waiting around. He realizes what's going on, but will his positioning pay off? Lekro going for a team-man spray down. Crims will steal the second frag. Bomb's got to be collected. Only 2 players left for Immortals. The numbers are running out. It's Henny with 5 HP versus 4, and it's not going to work out. The knife, of course. JW once again adding salt and vinegar to the wound there as Fnatic take the first map in this best-of-3 series.
Oh, man. Twice in the same game, knife kills for JW. That is filthy. That's exactly what we expect to see from them. Fnatic were known for it in the past. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and when we come back, the analysts will break down what we've seen on this first map.